Italian is something that not many other people have, and as far as life experience is concerned, it's fantastic.
You do literature, you do history. All these elements are as much a part of learning a language as learning the grammar.
I'm 20 years old and I'm living in the south of Italy on the coast. I don't think any other degree would have given me this opportunity.
It's a country with 60 million people in it. It has one of the 10 biggest economies in the world, a massive domestic market.
It gives you the option to go into lots of fields and lots of different choices of work.
Studying Italian personally was one of the best decisions I've ever made. It just gives you something you don't get in a normal university course.
You have to do it. Learn Italian. You're never going to regret it.
One of the main things you've got to be prepared to do if you want to learn a language and take it to the level where you want to become fluent in it, you have to be prepared to immerse yourself in the culture and the language of that country.
Generally the third year, it's compulsory to spend a year abroad. I chose to do an Erasmus year. This meant a placement in the university here in Florence. I knew that this was going to be somewhere where I would be constantly entertained and there'd always be something for me to explore.
Do you call them, text them, or WhatsApp? I'm doing a teaching assistant program, so I'm here in this town just to the south of Naples. And there's a huge market street. You're just having a bit of a browse. Someone's leapt in and they're explaining to you what it is, where it's from, and they're really passionate about it. At university, the way languages are taught makes it so easy to pick up a language and really run with it. It's the rate that you learn the language which really amazed me. Ask me questions in Italian.
Cosa hai fatto quando sei stato da solo a Pasqua a casa?
Ho studiato, ho scritto l'artesina, ho mangiato con gli amici, sono venuti a casa mia.
I'm actually working at a 5-star hotel, which is about half an hour north of Milan, right near the Swiss border. We get lots of politicians come here for business, and last year we did a whole module on Italian politics. So it's brilliant to see it actually in action and the reason why they're here and what they're doing. You feel like you're in a film.
So I live with 2 students in northern Italy, near Turin, and one of them is an Italian guy called Alessandro. He's lovely, and he's been showing me how to cook proper Italian food. So we made pasta the other night.
Lo giri e la schiacci, lo giri e la schiacci.
Many a time I've ended up with a debate with an Italian doing this at me, like we're having the, how can you think that? Why do you think that? You start to challenge how you live your life and what choices you make. There's like an added dimension to your life after that.
You meet people who have different opinions to you, and then you're able to see the perspective of different people. It's not just your own.
I started Italian at university. I know I'm making many mistakes, but they understand me and they engage, and you learn every second.
È stato messo un cristallo
E puoi vedere...
e si vede la lavorazione anche dietro e in più ha questo effetto di traslucido.
Le pietre sembrano un po' diverse con la luce.
Sì,
To be able to understand the language, to be able to utilize the language, it enriches your experience so much.
If you're already interested in the arts, like you might do history, you might do literature, you can already look at these things through the context of Italian anyway. I've studied Italian cinema, which is a fantastic thing. It's really interesting.
When you study languages, it really does open a lot of doors for you. Obviously, there's the so-called traditional jobs like translation or teaching, but there's so much more that you can do than that.
I am assistant to the governor of the Bank of Italy. Everybody assumes that you need to be an economist or work in finance to be able to work in a bank. No, absolutely not true. When I was taken on, they were looking for people who were fluent in English. The fact that I had fluent Italian as well, which they considered to be on a par with the Italian native speakers, was a massive advantage for me.
The September after I graduated, I started a job working for Enterprise Ireland. I think they said that 1,000 people applied. In my case, I was seconded to the Milan office, so my knowledge of Italian obviously did get me this job. Italy has a long history in many, many different fields, you know, automobiles, fashion, coffee. There aren't a lot of native English speakers who study Italian and who speak Italian to a high level. And considering how important Italy is as a marketplace, there's a kind of an imbalance of supply and demand.
Now, really what's important in the job market is not the title of what you've studied, but what you've learned. You've got the language, which is one thing, but the life lessons as well. So many skills, you've got mobility, you've got flexibility, you've been outside of the academic environment, you've had some life experience.
Il segreto è mettere un po' di sale qui, anche sulle voci.
Coming out here, being such an easy place to really pick up the language has done the world of good for my Italian. But also as a person, this does change you, there's no way it can't really.
Speaking to somebody in the Italian language, it instantly gives you this feeling of pride.
You've had an experience that nobody else has had. You've gone away, you've lived in a different country, and it makes you so much more confident.
You make a life for yourself here, then you feel you could conquer the world.